everyone, and welcome back to Nurses Lecture Room YouTube channel. My name is Mercy Mary, popularly known as the Nurse with the Difference, and I make learning easy and accessible for students. Our exams are knocking at the corner, and the fear, the anxiety, everything is on the high side. This is the period for we not to let go of all our efforts, of all the years in school, and also of all the resources we've placed into the nursing school in order to have our license. And for us to have our license, we have to show it forth tomorrow as we write our exams. So this video, I'm going to be giving us useful tips of what you need to know before you go into the exam hall, during the exam in proper, and also after the exams, because some of us fall victims of circumstances, not because we are dull, not because we don't really know it, but because we lack these useful tips when writing our exams. But before we go into details, kindly click on the subscribe button, turn on the notification button so you don't miss out. Let's go there. Right, like I earlier said, today I'm going to be giving you useful tips. I'm not going to be teaching medical surgical nursing, community health nursing, pharmacological nursing, but I'm going to be giving you some useful tips you have to note before you take your exams on Tuesday. The first thing I have here is remove fear. Some of us have read, some of us have burned the candle, some of us have developed pressure sore, but yet we are still scared of the exams. So one thing that makes a man fail is not because the man is not prepared for the war, but because the fear of being defeated. So the first and most important thing you have to put in your mind is to what? Is to remove fear. You have to what? Develop a positive mindset. Yes, I have prepared. I have tried my best. This is the time for me to go into the hall and bring back my license. This is the time for me to go into the hall and come out with my license. So have the positive mindset about these exams. Remove fear. Because when you continue to have a negative mindset, you continue to have this fear, it's going to hinder your progress in the exam. It's going to make you not to comprehend questions properly. So the first and most important thing is what? Remove fear. The second is to have what? The positive mindset. The third is a night to the exam. This is not the time for you to cram. This is not the time for you to start opening Brunas and Sudats. This is not the time for you to start opening Ross and Wilson. This is the time for you to revise what you have read. This is the time for you to go through all the summary of each systems. This is the time for you to calm down. This is the time for you to calm down. Because nursing syllabus is wide, it's versatile. So there's no way you can revise and cram a particular thing and say this is going to come out in the exam hall. This is the time for you to calm down. This is the time for you to just work on the revision. If you have some jottings, work on them. So you don't end up forgetting or you don't end up giving up everything you've read before. So this is the time for you to relax. This is not the time for you to do today break reading. No. I don't advise students to even, once it's 10, 11, sleep and wake up the next day. This is not the time for today break, so that your brain will be fresh, your brain will be relaxed. Then the other is gather your weapons. When a man wants to go to work, he or she gathers his weapon. So your weapons, your pencils, your biro, your eraser, your sharpener, your ruler, gather them tonight. Don't wait till the D-Day before you start looking for, I have to buy biro, I have to buy pencil. Gather them today. Gather them and keep. I think a week before my exam, I already bought new pencil, new biros, and I kept them. So gather all these things and what? And keep. Don't forget your wristwatch. You could get a breast watch, anyone, but make sure you go into the exam hall with what? With the wristwatch. So gather this, your weapon, and what? Keep tonight. Go and do it now for those that have not. Then the other, iron your uniform. It's looking like strange, I know this, but go and iron your uniform. Make sure your uniform is neat. It's also very important, especially when it comes to practical. Get yourself a watch. We said that. Dress smartly. Dress what? Dress smartly. In nursing, we have ethics. We have ethics in nursing. The first is no long nails out of the radar. No long nails, you have to put on pin earring, no dangling earring. Your hair should not be touching your shoulders. I'm not in the world, so I am free to put on this long hair. I'm not writing exams, so I'm free to put on this long hair. But when you are going to the exam, your hair should not touch your shoulders. You should not put on dangling earrings. And also, you should ensure your uniform is not too short. So dress modestly to avoid unnecessary distraction during your exams. Then the other is be present on time. Exam is 9 o'clock. Leave the house 7:30 so that by 8 you'll be in the exam waiting. Your mind will be calm. So don't just leave the house 8:30. Leave the house on time so that you get to the examination hall before the expected time. Then the other I have here is avoid unnecessary discussion. Like, I think this happened in my time. Like, hey, have you read Shock? Have you read this? Have you read that? You get confused, you get scattered. You get people who say, this is a question that are likely going to come at. Avoid those unnecessary discussion. It's likely going to destabilize you. Nothing is broad, I will always tell you. There's no way that what you discussed immediately might come. You might be lucky, but avoid unnecessary discussion that will keep you tensed during the exam. Then also, check for any incriminating material. During my time, I had a student, he like out of, I don't know if it's subconsciously, she kept some papers in her pockets. And the invigilator was shouting, remove the papers, remove it. She thought she has removed it. When they checked, it wasn't hidden, it was just in her pocket. They checked, it was like some material she used in revising. So set yourself properly. Am I with anything that will incriminate me during these exams? Set yourself properly. When you get to your desk in the exam, or check around, check the shelf, so you don't incriminate yourself. Check the shelves, check around. If there's any paper, if there is, remove it. Because people get disqualified. They will not pity you. So remove any incriminating objects or any incriminating papers around you. Very important. Then, okay, that is that for what you have to take note of before you enter inside the hall. So now you are inside the hall, you are calm, you came on time, you dressed modest, so no invigilator is going to harass you, no invigilator is going to tell you you are this, you are that, because you obeyed simple instruction. So the first thing you have to do is to answer your name during the roll call. That shows you are in the exam. So answer your name during the roll call. That shows what? You are in the examination hall. Then also, listen carefully to your invigilators. At that moment, your invigilators are your boss. So whatsoever they tell you, follow. If they say start, start. If they say stop, stop. Follow or listen to your invigilators. Then behave yourself. Some people will be doing I too know, trying to prove what they don't know. Behave yourself, respect yourself when in the exam hall. Remove what? ITK, I too know, remove it. Then also say your prayers. For the Christians, say your prayers to God. For the Muslims, say your prayers to Allah. But say your prayers. After you say your prayers, you read instructions. Read instructions at the book, on the booklets, read instructions at the answer sheet or the question paper. Read the instructions. When you finish reading the instruction, you fill your details completely. The names, your name, your school, those things, your number, those things that are there for you to fill, just fill them the way they are. Those are the most important. Fill them. Then take note of the fact that you have 100 objective questions. 100 objective questions and theory questions. These theory questions, you are definitely going to get a nursing care plan, nursing management. Just been expecting that. For those that don't know how to write nursing care plan, please and please, if you are watching this video now, send me a message. Send me what? Send me a message. We have a voice note for nursing care plan. Then also begin with the one you know first. Okay, before I go to that, when you get into the exam hall, most times I advise students to answer the objective quickly first, because sometimes you get tips for your theory questions on the objective. During my time, it was safe motherhood. So I got some questions, some answers from the objective to add to my theory questions. So when you do your objective first, you tend to get some clue about the theory. And also when you get to the theory, look at the theory questions. Which one do you know first? Which one do you know very well? That particular question you know very well. That is what you are to do first. Then what did I write again? Begin with the one you know first. Avoid overconfidence. For example, you just see shock. You just be happy. I know shock. Read the question following shock. Avoid overconfidence. Read the question thoroughly. Don't assume that is the question. They already set the question. So read the question properly before answering. Avoid overconfidence. It makes you, it disorganizes you. So bring yourself down, be calming down. Then take note of the word. When they say describe, they say explain, they say list, they say enumerate, they say with the aid of a well-labeled diagram. Take note of those words. It's very important. When they tell you with the aid of a well-labeled diagram, describe, it means that you have to draw a diagram. Make sure you label properly. It's also very important. When they say describe, you are listing, you're not going to get your points. When they say explain, you are listing, you're not going to get your point. So take note of those words. When they say explain, you are elaborating. List, you are giving the key points. Then also handwriting. For all those that have bad handwriting, try to work on your handwriting so that it will be encouraging for your examiner to read. It will be encouraging for your examiner to scold you. And it will be encouraging for the examiner to continue reading your paper. So try and work on your handwriting. I know at the very beginning our handwriting are usually very our handwriting is dope, but close to the end we are tired. But just be handwriting conscious. Then attempt all questions. I normally tell my students, the rule for all my students, for you being my student at all, is you don't leave the book blank. There is always an answer to a particular question in your head. That's your head. There is an answer. So don't leave Don't leave the book blank. Use residual knowledge. Wherever you see a question, flashback. It's possible you must have seen the condition, that same condition in the world or something. Just use your residual knowledge to ensure that you write something down. The rule is don't leave your book blank. That is the number one rule. Then also, no hurry. They won't give you an award for leaving the hall on time. Take your time. No, don't be in a haste. Calm down. Read your questions, answer it, go back, dot your I's and your T's. My own problem there was going through my work. I usually find it very difficult to go through my work. When I'm done writing, to read again is a problem. But just try as much as possible to go back, dot your I's, cross your T's to ensure you don't give them mark. Then also, go through your work. Like I said, tag extra sheets. For those that ask for extra sheets, especially those that have big handwriting, make sure you tie them together. Make sure you tag them together. Don't leave them separate. Please and please take note of that. Then the other thing I want to discuss with you is, after the exam, what will you do? Like after the exam, do you just rush, go out and start discussing to your friends? What do you do after your exams? Don't leave the exam hall, start analyzing past questions. You will start analyzing the question. Oh, I didn't write this. Oh, I wrote this. Oh, I didn't write that. If you continue after paper 1 like this, paper 2 you are going to have difficulty because you're already thinking about paper 1 you wrote that you didn't write well or something. So after each paper, go home, rest, sleep, eat, and don't brood over the questions you've answered in the hall, because definitely you are going to remember something you didn't answer correctly. You are going to remember a question you didn't answer. You are going to remember something that, like, you're going to remember a lot of mistakes you make. It's normal. But the advice is, don't brood over questions. Don't brood about your previous paper. So the best thing after your exams to do is to calm down, go home, eat, rest, and prepare for the next day paper. For those that are resitting, remove that fear. Believe in yourself. This is your last time. You are going to make it. You are going to get your license when the result is out, because you've prepared for it, and I know you've prepared for your exams. So fear no more. Just be happy. Just have the positive mindset that in a month or 2 months from now, you'll be dancing out with your license. I hope this useful tip help you before you enter into the examination hall. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching our video. Kindly share our video with your friends because it's going to be of help to them. Kindly share our video to as many groups as you can. That will go a long way to help Nurses Lecture Room go forward. Thank you, and you have a wonderful day ahead. Congratulations in advance.